Hey everybody, Tim here for tonight's episode of Star Trek. Technically not a Discovery movie, but I'm just going to include it into my Discovery timeline of Section 31, the movie. How the fuck do I even talk about this movie? Woo! It didn't make me mad. I'm going to say that. I didn't hate it. Because I'm of that generation. Hate is a strong word. No, you want to see hate? Go watch my video of Star Trek Into Darkness. That's hate. This, I was just like, what the fuck is this? This is so pointless. It was difficult to get through. It was difficult to pay attention. It was like watching the shittiest episode of Doctor Who ever conceived. Is honestly what it reminded me of. Like this, it was just so fucking weird. Now it's been a long time since I've watched Discovery, especially the early years. And so like I barely even remember what happened to Georgiou. Like I was like, wait, what I don't even remember. It doesn't matter. Now I remember when this was first announced. Now, I will say I think Section 31 is overrated or at least over talked about. Because Section 31 wasn't even thought of until Deep Space Nine. And then it's like one episode of Section 31. And then you get into Enterprise. Enterprise has a few. I can't remember if Voyager did. But it's like, oh, okay. Like, this super secret organization is fucking everywhere. Got it. And they announced they were going to do a TV show, a mini series with Philippa. And I was like, okay, I mean, we'll see how that goes. And then Michelle Yeoh won $1.5 million awards for Everything Everywhere All at Once, which is one of the greatest movies ever made. Like, everybody's like, everything's reboots nowadays, which is full of shit. That's not even true. But for the people who do think that, go watch that movie. That movie's incredible. And so she won all these awards, and they were like, you know what? Now we can't afford you to do a mini series, so we're just going to do an hour and a half movie. And like that made me laugh. I was like, damn, like you wasted all of your money. That being said, I did think it was also funny that Jamie Lee Curtis is in this, her co-star from Everything Everywhere All at Once, as Control. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's back it up for a minute. The opening sequence, probably the opening 10-15 minutes, is probably my favorite part of the movie. Just seeing the Terran Empire, seeing young Philippa, was very Hunger Games, and it didn't make a lot of sense to me. Whether that be the alcohol, or my lack of interest, or the movie's explanation, I will leave that up to you. But just like, okay, so they just took people to become the new emperor and threw them in the fucking Hunger Games. Okay. And 2 survived. Me and Sam. Well, obviously not me. But Georgina, Philippa, and Sam. Cool. She killed her family to become the emperor. I was like, okay, it's all fucked up. It was super interesting. Got it. As soon as Jamie Lee Curtis enters as Control, it was like a fucking Mission Impossible opening. Like, so I love the Mission Impossible movies. Don't get me wrong. But like, you know how every movie has like the famous guest star opening, like Anthony Hopkins, whatever, is like your mission should you choose to accept. Like that's literally Jamie Lee Curtis's role in this. And that's the second she started on that is when I was like, wait a minute, what is this? What is happening here? We get to see Virgil, which I did like, who is a Chiron from Let This Be Your Last Battlefield. Now, I am not watching these in orders. Whatever, you get it. So this does take place before the original series. So we would see Virgil, and then we would see the Frank Gorshin episode of the original series. I think there's some in Lower Decks. And then we know they're way in the future in Starfleet Academy. So Endangered species, yes. Extinct, no. Which, it's fucking Star Trek. Like, fuck off with like, oh, they're extinct. Bitch, we saw fucking Ferengi in the Delta Quadrant in Voyager. Like, there's no such thing. Get over it. Anyways, when Philip was just reading the room, spilling the tea, I liked it. Like, oh, this is this person, this is blah, 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 blah. We get to see a very young Lieutenant Garrett, who, for those of you who did not realize that, is the captain of the Enterprise C. I only know that because I'm looking at the Enterprise C and I was waiting for that Hallmark ornament to come out for so long. That's the episode in the Next Generation where they like go back in time. Yesterday's Battlefield. Yesterday's Enterprise. There you go. I am pulling shit out of my memory banks. My mind palace is like crumbling and shit. Yeah. So anyways, if you go back and watch Yesterday's Enterprise, Captain Garrett is there, and then like this is young Captain Garrett, Lieutenant Garrett. Why they felt the need to include that, I don't fucking know. Yeah. They bring up the eugenics wars, which was impressive because at this point I feel like they try to like downplay that or like try to up the years. Because if I remember right, in Space Seed, the eugenics wars were supposed to be like 98 or something. So it's like, oh, that doesn't happen. So there's a little bit of like Terminator thing where they're like, oh, actually the year changed. The one joke that really fucking landed and made me laugh was the Godsend. And they're like, is it Godsend or is it God's End? And even when the one dude was like, what are you talking about? And they're like, it's the Godsend. He's like, oh, wait, nope, I heard it there. I get it. That joke fucking out of the park. That made me, it was so dumb. And even as soon as they made the joke, I was like, why? Like, what? It was like a Spaceballs Blazing Saddles level of like, oh, that's the whole wind up for that little punchline. As we kept going, and it's like, oh, Fuzz hacked the machine guy, and it was just like, by that point, I was checked out. I was just like, I just don't care anymore. Like, I felt like the movie wanted to be Ocean's 11 and failed miserably. And then by the time we got to the end with Mrs. Fuzz, I was like, God, will you fucking stop? Why? Why is this? And I know people are like, oh, there's going to be a sequel. Fuck off. This is it. There's nothing going to come from this. I was going to say I wanted to like it. I never wanted to like it. I didn't give a fuck about it. I was cautiously optimistic about it, and I was curious to see what they were going to do. But yeah, like the whole, like, especially Fuzz, where they kept going inside the little Vulcan brain thing. Like, it was like the shittiest Doctor Who episode ever made. It was so weird, and it made no sense. Curious what you guys thought about this movie. Did I miss part of it? I don't think I did, because I've never heard a single person say they liked it. Which, if you watched this, you were like, this is fucking great. My favorite Star Trek movie is Generations. And that won a fucking Razzie Award. So, like, no shame. If somebody was like, I really liked Section 31, bro, more power to you. It's not for me, though. I am glad to say, after this, I am done with Discovery, putting everything to bed. Curious what you guys thought about this movie. Do you think there'd be a sequel? If they made a sequel, I swear to God, I hope it's called Section 32. I really do. Let me know. Thank you guys for putting up with me, and I will see you guys next time.